What's up, you guys? Hey, beautiful, amazing people. Welcome back to Spiritualities with me, Daisy Lillian. Today, I came back with a story time. A story I feel like I should talk about. This is a story that happened to me way back. So yeah, I'm bringing my dirty laundry on the internet. I'm going to talk about this boy. This church boy that broke my heart in first year. Let's begin. But before, I think I'll need coffee. I carried myself a yogurt. Which there in particular. Yeah, let's start. So guys, I was in first year around the second semester. We had come back. Yeah, we're going to the third sem. We're going to the second semester. We're going to the second year. I was moving to my second year. So I did what? I was in holiday. We had come back for holiday, and then I had gotten a smartphone. Now you understand that in first year, we were using these button phones. They were very common. So I'd gotten my first smartphone. Yeah. I got my first smartphone. So I was home. Come back for holiday. Then I get a DM. I get a message in my WhatsApp. Someone is saying hi. When I checked the profile, the person's DP, person looked cute. I'm like, okay. But he was taking, it's a picture I was taken using a camera. Then it was not so common. We're taking pictures using our phones. And most of us, the phones were either Huawei or itel or Nokia. Be honest, iPhones are not yet come. I can't be that old. When was that? iPhones were not there because even my friend Lynn didn't have an iPhone. Most of the phones that were there were Samsung. And she's the girl who has an iPhone since ever. Yeah, she didn't. They're not there. Guys, like, I literally exist before iPhone. Okay, that is scary. Yeah, so I see this guy's picture and he looked good. Because his picture was a camera pic. You get? He was cute. Now, because I've always had a type. He was cute. Cute, like, he was a bit light. Yeah, he was cute. He was not like the manly, my typical kind of manly, yeah, certain color and all that. He was cute, so we began talking. So, of course, I texted back because of the nice speak. So, as we spoke, the guy spoke of he used to go to church and he was going to some church in Nansana. I'll keep the name. Now, that church was my best friend's church, and she's called Chef Cynthia. So it was Cynthia's church she used to go to in Nansana. So for me, when the guy said he's a church boy, already he had qualified. He had hit the bar. Because I was those girls who knew from the time I was young that I'm only getting married to a church person, getting married to a born again person. So someone who comes in the cloud of a church to me was, was a deal already. So yeah. We keep jazzing with this guy. We talk day and night. So after a while, just like I think 4 days or something, or a week, I don't know. Because to be honest, the holiday was around 3 weeks? A month? They used to be short. I tell Cynthia about this guy. Because that's how me and her we talk about everything, like she's that girl, everything and anything. So we chat every day. So I tell her about this guy. She asked me what's the name of the guy. Now the guy's name starts with E. Let's call him. No, we can't call him Ezra. Ezra is my boy, a little boy. Let's call him Edward. Yes, Eddie. So I tell him the guy is called Eddie. He says he goes to your church. She freezes, she goes quiet, and that's not like her. You get? But the guy was a church boy, so me I was already invested. You get? We are jazzing. So as we're jazzing with this guy, I asked him, what are you doing? Because now I was at uni. So he says he plays music in church. Like that was his occupation. So I asked him, did you go until at uni? What is like? No, he didn't go to uni. apparently I think there was no money or something like that. So I don't know, he was playing an instrument, but I think it was a guitar, because I don't think there were drums or something. It was a violin, it was a guitar. Now you guys, now imagine, because I was a church boy, he had already built castles. You get? I already built castles about children and all those things. Now the family I come from values education so much. Guys, even my grandfather, who's 87, now 86, went to school, like even did a certificate, went to UMI. Imagine. Yeah, I went to one of those schools. Now me, I'm like, hey, how do you tell people in my family that someone didn't go to uni? Like, it is a strange concept. That's how much my family values education. That's one thing. And then my kind of friends, who are the cool girls, yeah, like that is strange. Like, so like you're sitting with your friends asking, what does the guy do? Like, why he plays guitar? Like, it was God. And to be honest, I also had that kind of pride. Like, there's no I'm going to tell my friends all these things. You get like, oh my God, he plays guitar. Like, So I ask him, where do you stay? He talks about him staying in one small room or what. Yeah, I hear these stories. All the things were shaking. I began. So guys, for that whole holiday, every night me I would be thinking, I'm like, what can this guy do? Like I'm thinking what the guy can do. Imagine guys, I was 19 or 20 years. Yeah, I was young, so cut a slack for me. I think different these days. So I'm like, I start thinking, okay, maybe what can this guy do? Like, I want something decent so that I can present him to my people. Like, what my people thought meant a lot to me. Like, it was everything. I wanted him to think of something that I'm thinking of something which can be presentable to be mentioned to my people. You get it? Because first year, I was at uni. Let me tell you, when I go to uni, and I went to Wanyange Girls Secondary School for O-level. So when I went to uni, I met, for some reason, I was friends with this one girl, and she had gone to Bwanyange, whereas. And then out of the blue, I was in a clique of kids from Boras and Tare. They were always together. I don't know, they were always together. Always, I don't know, to be honest, I cannot explain how I found myself in that crew. Now, when we were sitting in that crew, those girls would have conversations like, you marry men from certain schools. Now, being the fact that I had gone to a traditional school, I've been to the school since I was in primary. Though I didn't, I understood what they meant because they used to sell these things to us. You get? Though I knew them, but it was not that of a big deal. It made sense because of the environment I was in. So they knew we married kids from certain kind of schools, doing certain kind of courses. Like these kids, believe me, search for them now. Search for those girls now. Yeah, a bit of them are living that life, but most of them know life. Who are young, who are babies, no? So they believe you got to marry guys from certain kind of schools. Now I was doing a bachelor's of science in accounting and finance, which is a story for another day, but that course gave me it humbled me. So they believe we marry men who are doing certain courses. We marry guys who are doing science courses. We marry engineers. We marry from now those are the conversations we're in. Now imagine, and these girls were my friends. These guys came to know they're my friends, and they meant the best for me. So how do I present such a man? And not even when we speak, his English was not the most. He didn't speak good English. But guys, for the fact that he was born again, for the fact that he was, even if this guy was born again, just because we were going to this church, and most of them were going to my best friend's church, was enough. Was enough for me to qualify him. The fact that he was Christian. I was overseeing all these things. Now imagine my best friend kept quiet. She froze and me, even that did not move me. So in my head, I'm like, no, but you guys, I would think. I'm like, okay, what can this guy do? I started thinking about what businesses, started asking about businesses. Profit. Imagine, guys, that kind of, hey, the energy, yo. That's when I realized car spare parts make money. Let me tell you, I have my friends. And I know one friend is going to be really disappointed. This is the first time she's hearing this story. But babe, to be honest, how was I going to come to your hostel? In my care. On your dope hostel. And sit down. And just you. Oh my God. No. Not the girl then. Not the girl then. Of course now I know better. I know people who are not done school and they're doing well. And I know my worth is not entitled, is not on certain things you get, but education is still important. But I see things like I went to Phaneroo and Apostle Grace disciplined me, and I see things differently. You get? Understand, like God is beyond tribe, is beyond color, is beyond how you look and all that. So I was thinking all this time, but we're talking. So we'll be judging this guy be talking about sex, be talking about all the things I are going to, all the things we're going to touch, blah, blah, blah. Guys, even though things were overlooked. Why? Because he was a church boy. And this is the most funny thing. Me and Cynthia were church girls. But we didn't really have church circles around us. Yeah. For a long time. Getting into church circles came way later. But we were the kind of girls who go to church. When we go to church, we pray. We speak to them there, and when we leave them, we go. So I had people around me, I had guys around, but were not the church guys. I would meet the men who fitted the criteria, who ticked every box. You get, they were fine, went to the right schools, they're doing the right courses, they are humble, they are guys, like they look, nigga smells good at a distance. You know what I mean? The guy fitted the boxes, they were everything, but they were not church people. So because of that, I did not create, that's how much, guys, that's how much I have longed for a God thing. That's how much I've loved, that's how much I've yearned for a God thing. Even in my youngness and my stupidity, I knew if there's, and what this is the most funny thing, no one ever told me you're supposed to marry a church person. Not even my mom. No. This is something I just knew in me. I wanted a home that can serve the Lord. You know that scripture of, as for me and my house, we shall serve the Lord. The scripture ranks so deep. So I always met guys who fitted this thing, They looked great. They had the right height. They went to the right schools. They talked a certain way. They carried vision. And to be honest with all these guys, I don't remember talking about all this nonsense of about sex and all that. No, they did. They were so respectful. Oh God, they carried everything, but they were not church people. But even in that, I knew I cannot be with these people. So I was with them in the moment. I enjoyed everything, but in my head, I didn't create the fairy tale. I always knew there was going to be an end to this. And God is so amazing, guys. Even people who could have destroyed me. Even scenario, when you listen to someone's story and you be like, but I know that person. I know that person, like I had no reason to not experience the hell another girl experienced. I was too stupid to experience these things. Like I've had people's stories and damn. You know that song that says, Wali wechi sechi nondola. Guys, that is my life. I have been held by the hand of God. I have been held by God. There is no reason of why I've not experienced many things girls have experienced. I haven't. Maybe my mother's prayers. Yeah, maybe they come and not even the poor mothers who pray right. And that the ghetto that I've experienced. The ghetto. Huh? But yeah, so I kept on talking with this guy. We talked. There are so many red flags. And some red flags, of course, didn't make sense. Not like I'm judging someone And then imagine, I just seen this guy on, I liked that DP. So one time I'm talking to Cynthia, of course. Then she tells me that guy is a brother to another guy. That I thought was cute. So this is how the story goes. So this was, remember this guy began talking to me after first year. The whole leader getting to the second year. Now in the first year, of course, Cynthia's church always have service every Thursday. It's in Nansana, every Thursday. So every Thursday we used to go. Now when we used to go there, this guy who used to sing. Now I was obsessed with people who sing, not just guys, people who have beautiful voices. Now this guy was kind of, okay, he had a bit of my type, but was not really my type. He was calm. I love calm. I think because I'm a sanguine, I am out there. I'm attracted to grounded beings. He looked, it's not like I knew him as a calm person. He looked grounded. Now, and he could sing. This guy would worship his voice. So that's the reason I'm like, oh my god, the guy is cute, but because of that. And for some reason, they looked alike so much. You get? So would always go. So this guy would always worship. So one evening, it was after fellowship has moved on, and yeah, time to go home because we used to stay in Banda. The distance from Nasa to Banda, and we were staying in a hostel that was very stupid. That hostel had curfew. 11. It was ghetto. So we did what? It was time to go. So when we were going, I think I was looking for Cynthia. So I went downstairs, which is where the hall was, the church where service happens. Look for. So I was just passing by. Someone called me or tapped me or something like that. So when I looked behind, he looked just like the guy who worships in church. Again, the guy I always thought had a very beautiful, and he had very impactful music. He had music that would minister to me, to be honest, in those times. So when I looked behind, he looked just like that guy. He looked just like that guy who was worshiping, but he looked smaller. But not only in my, guys, I'm not the person who wake up. I'm not the person who gives too much consideration things unless I'm really interested. So when I looked behind, he looked just like him. That was the reason I stopped. So the guy talked to me, was like, hi. We had like a 3 minutes conversation. All right? And I don't know whether we exchanged numbers or something, but he was so kind, he was so nice. Yeah. And to me, I think I thought I was speaking to the other guy. Apparently that guy was the elder brother. He did. So Cynthia tells me and I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. So we keep talking. So it was around like 1 week, I think, like a few days to come back to school. And then what? Cynthia calls me and says, okay, Daisy, this is it. I have done research. I have done thorough research about this guy. And this guy, he has been in a long-term relationship with this lady at church. And like everyone knows plus the pastor. I'm like, what? Oh my god. And she knows the girl. The girl ministers at church. Yeah. I was disappointed. I was disappointed. And to me, then I call it a heartbreak. I think it was like my first heartbreak. I was disappointed. I cried. Hey, Cynthia. I cried. I was disappointed. But when I look back, it was more of I broke my rules. You get? I was willing to do so many things. And this guy disappointed me. This guy was fake. I was broken. I cried. The good thing it was a few days to get back to school. So I go back and text him, and this guy denies. He's like, he didn't deny the babe. He was like, it's not like I promised you heaven. It's not like I told you we were going to do. So he gaslighted me. You get? He gaslighted me, and he made me feel like I was the problem. Now I remember I had my car ego. To be honest, I felt like he didn't match the standard. Not me. I felt like I'd broken my rules. For you, and damn, I was disappointed. And then the most thing was, to me, he was a church person. And in my head, I'm like, church people don't lie, church people don't cheat, church people, you get it? And I'm like, and I'm the girl who never in a million years thought I can be in a scenario with a guy who's someone else. Like, if you ask me since ever, I've always been that girly girl. Me, I'll fight for another girl. You get? I'll give up on so many things because of another girl. You get? But life teaches you can never say never. So I've always been that girl. So I was so disappointed. I was so broken. But deep down, there was a relief. Like I just don't have to face my friends. I don't have to go to my career and tell them about this guy, because me and my friends talk about everything. So there was like a deep down of relief. You get? Like no one was going to make fun of me. Like, babe, you stooped so low. You get? So but I was disappointed. So after like a few days, of course, I go back to uni, and we had changed hostel. We had left the other hostel, Blessed Girls. We had gotten a better hostel called TAL. So in the moment, Cynthia was not coming back on the real first day of going back to school. Me, I did. So Cynthia, I spoke to Esther. Esther was another best friend. Now, Esther is a darling. She's my other best friend. And one thing about Esther, she loves. Esther is a gift. Esther loves with everything. Now, Esther, I don't know if I'm the one who told her the story or it was Cynthia who told her. She was broken. She's a girl who loves with her intestines, I would say. She's a girl who feel after your emotion. She was broken. She's like, who is this guy? I want to see him. Does he call himself? Yeah, she lost it. So then back to school. I don't know if it is Cynthia who told her, because I don't think I told her that. But she came because I was shifting hostels. She came to help me do the shifting, clean up, organize my room, and all that. She was not at Chambergo with us. She was at some institute doing some computer something. Yeah. So she left home. She came to come and help me and be with me and support her girl. So she comes and I'm jazzing and I'm broken and all that. But that Sunday or Saturday of that week when we went back to school, Cynthia's church, of course, still the same church they go to in Nansana. They had a university thing, a students thing. So we go. Now Cynthia is that kind of girl. When she's in a place, the big heads will know her. So she's friends with the pastor, the main guy. So we go for the event. Esther is next to me. She's supporting her girl. Yeah, Cynthia, of course, was around. We enter the church. Yeah, then praise and worship comes. And so apparently the girlfriend of Eddie, led praise or something, worship. And her voice was beautiful. Like I looked at her and I was, did you get it? Like I had like a shock. She was way older. You guys, you need to understand. If you think I'm small, I've always been a petite girl. I was smaller then. Petite, small and short. I was smaller then, and she was this girl. I think she was around like 28, not to judge. That year she was those kind of girls around 28. And apparently, she knows this guy does these things when things, I don't know, I think when things are messed. I don't understand where I got this information from, but I had when things are messed. So she also knew she could end up with this guy on. I don't know where I had that information from, but believe me, I had it. Her voice was magic. So I had mixed emotions. I loved her voice, but again, I was still also a bit down. Good. But I loved this girl. Like, I don't think I danced to it, but I was just amazed at this girl's voice. She would sing like, I don't sing like an angel. She had a beautiful voice. So I attended the service, blah, blah, blah. It again, it was dark. We went to, service ended. So, of course, Cynthia is a big girl. Just go and say hello to the pastor, the main guy. Yeah. We go meet the pastor. Pastor is like, oh, you guys are still friends. This is beautiful. Very nice. So as we finish seeing the pastor, the Eddie guy was standing just at a distance. Like there were crowds around us. And the pastor is a big guy. So because the pastor is there, people surrounding him. But because the pastor knows Cynthia, he calls her out. Like, oh, how's your friend Daisy? Esther, we all great, we are nice. Then when I turn, still greeting, this guy is here. Now, of course, Esther stands next to me. Now, I think Esther saw and Esther just came across and stand next to me, like, to see this guy. So, he was quiet like for 2 minutes. Like, he froze. We all froze. And you'd see he was sorry. I listened one time known to Pumi's sister jazzing a story over this guy who had messed her up also. And when he met the guy also, the guy, like, he felt the guy saying sorry even before the words. I know that sounds psycho, but I understood her. Because this guy kept quiet. And you'd see his face was, his face was saying sorry or something. Yeah, he was repentant. He was quiet for like some few minutes. Then he said, Daisy. I don't know what I answered. I don't know if I answered or not. But yeah, then we walked away. But he didn't look like the picture. He didn't look like the profile picture. And I think he said like 1 or 2 words. And yeah, his English was bad. And I got over it. I never spoken about it. But I felt like he was sorry. It was closure to me, He was way shorter than he looked in the picture. Guys, forgive me. I swear I'm not that girl. I swear I'm not that girl. But yeah, though I was saying things carnally, I saw that God's hand in all these things. That's the time. That is the time I realized, because I was so young, and God dealt with me so early. I imagine it was second year. It was first year coming to second year uni. I was 20 or 19, 20. I learned so early. Do not judge a book by its cover. Just because they're in church does not make them right. It does not. You get? God beings are not just in the church setting. You get? I learned the importance of discernment, which is a gift God grew with time, with experiences in Him. And I learned not to jump onto conclusions. I've had so many stories of people in church who, this church boy messed me. When he messed me, now I don't do anything in church anymore. You get? You can't be so myopic. You can't give up on a God desire, on a good dream, on God's heart towards you, on God's mind, because of some John downtown who does not know what he wants with his life, who has not figured out his life, who God is still dealing with. You get? Some people are in our lives to grow our characters. You get? Some people are brought in our lives to grow. Guys, I was too carnal. I was too young. Imagine I judge someone depending on their school, their background, their tribe, and all that. Guys, God opened my eyes to those things. God is bigger than that. God is not there. God is a God of all flesh, and He loves all men. You get? God loves us all. God is not going to use you with that kind of mind of God's purpose and will, and they'll justify it. They say they are doing better. We have children. We are progressing in the house of God. But understand that progress in the eyes of men is different from progress in the eyes of God. You have a God-aligned destiny. Please stick to it and don't give up on it. You get? Believe me, You played a part in this thing. Look through the story and see what God is teaching you, what God is breaking in you. And be open to that and do better next time. But God had sons and daughters, beings that he has raised, and to take him to open you up with the right heart after him working, to open you up to these people, and you'll have a beautiful ending. Yeah, that was my story. Hope you've learned something and you've enjoyed. Please comment and tell me your experiences as well. Until next time, bye. I love you. Let me finish my yoga.